If you've never heard of offshore wind energy, that's probably typical enough, but you've come to the right place. AtlanticWindsRI is an intern-led corporation tasked by WindWinRI with spreading the word about the benefits and opportunities offshore wind holds for our state, our youth, and our future. You may have seen the offshore wind farm from East Matunuck, or from Block Island itself, but did you know that the Block Island wind farm is the first and only wind farm in the nation as of 2020, and that it powers 17,000 homes? Not only that, but WindWinRI established the first high school certification program in offshore wind, and Charlie Donadio founded the first offshore wind transfer system, Atlantic Wind Transfer. Clearly, Rhode Island is a pioneer in offshore renewable energy, but what is it? Offshore wind is the most promising form of renewable energy yet. It's like your average wind farm, but more efficient. They're built on the ocean, where wind is much more abundant, which also means they don't have to be built quite as high up, saving valuable resources. Rhode Island is one of the most densely compacted states in America, with a high demand for electricity, making solar farms and onshore wind farms simply less viable options. Real estate prices go down because land turbines are unsightly, and in the end, no one wins. But as anyone who lives here knows, we have lots of ocean. Rhode Island is the perfect place for offshore expansion. Supply chain powerhouses such as the Port of Providence, the Quonset Business Park, and TF Green Airport give us access to all the most efficient transportation lines. And what's more, major players in the offshore industry seem to think so as well. Ørsted, a leader in Europe's offshore development, established its U.S. headquarters for the entire nation in Providence. That's right, just tiny Providence. We have 32 sector partners drawn in by Rhode Island's zest for a thriving economy, taking shape through investments, grants, and loans that plant our belief in a more energy-efficient nation. We simply make more economic sense than the big, expensive cities like Boston or New York City. Not to mention, we have an unrivaled workforce in both ethics and environmental precaution. You may be concerned that building wind turbines in the ocean will harm marine life, which are of great environmental and economic importance to our state. And what about the beautiful ocean view and fishing and sailing? The good news is that thanks to the URI Coastal Resource Center and their siting process, renewable energy stays environmentally friendly. Through modern science-based processes and transparent communication with fishermen and sailors, offshore wind development has been careful to honor the oceans we hold so dear. For example, since 1828, the migration patterns of right whales have been studied and found to occupy the development site during the winter and spring. So what did they do? No construction was to occur during that time, and off-season every transport ship was required to have an observer. If that observer saw a whale, any and all construction stopped immediately. That's dedication. The Coastal Resource Center worked closely with fishermen to avoid construction in abundant areas. Nowadays, the Block Island Wind Farm is actually a great place to go fishing, as the foundations have become somewhat of an artificial barrier reef. Projects are even in the works aiming to harvest the mussels in the area. Bonus! The only change of any concern around the Block Island Wind Farm is that along the ocean floor, lobsters and crabs move a little bit slower due to the electromagnetic fields that the power cables emit. However, this has not yielded any significant change in their migratory and reproductive habits. According to Jen McCann from the UICRC, future projects will be required to bury the cables 6 feet under the ocean floor and with better models to regulate the EMFs. So not to worry, there will still be lobster on RI menus. Speaking of new projects, the Revolution Wind Project plans to build 10 times the turbines currently home to the Block Island Wind Farm and produce more than 13 times the power. That kind of energy could power over a third of the homes in Rhode Island and bring us well on our way to our goal, having 38.5% of our energy come from renewable sources. Just 1 gigawatt of power can power 400,000 to 700,000 homes. U.S. shores currently hold the potential for 2,000 gigawatts, which according to the American Wind Energy Association is twice the amount of energy we consume annually. The process of creating and maintaining 17,000 turbines projects a $70 billion industry. The more we produce, the more cost-effective wind energy gets, and the closer we get to a cleaner, more sustainable future. That's where you come in. It's time to be the change and get involved in offshore wind energy, the future of Rhode Island.